What's up, guys? Welcome back to the High Sierra Mountainscapes YouTube channel. It's been a minute. Of course, wintertime. So, let's talk about snowblowers. Today, we're going to go over a couple different blowers that we have here at High Sierra Mountainscapes. Just been some requests and figured why not? Simple video, let's do it. So, today we have a couple Bobcat blowers. We have a Muskox blower. And then we also have an Erskine blower that's going to be outside. We don't have it inside the shop right now, but we'll go over that one later on in the video. So, yeah, let's get to it. So we've had a couple requests on people wanting to see some videos on the blowers. And, you know, it's kind of hard to, I guess, describe the differences between them because, you know, they all do the same thing. They're all blowing snow. It's all kind of small, minor adjustments, even in between the two Bobcat blowers that we have. It's the differences like maybe skid shoes and some minor other things, but we'll go over it. If there's, you know, questions or things that you guys had in mind that you want to see us talk about, leave us a comment and, you know, we'll be happy to reply back or make another video. So, yeah, I guess we'll start with our oldest blower, which is just I believe it's an SB240. We got it back in 2017, 2018. And yeah, we'll start with it. So here is our original blower that we started with. It's an SB240 from Bobcat, high flow. All of our machines are high flow machines. We're at about 4,500 feet, live up in the Sierras. I'm sure everyone's heard of Sierra Cement. I was told when I started this, if you don't have high flow, don't even bother. So that's kind of what we've ran with. And I would agree. I've never tried a machine that doesn't have high flow, but even with our high flow machines, there's definitely conditions where, you know, I wish we had more power. But it's just how it goes. Sometimes, the blowers, it's just so wet and heavy. It is what it is. So, the SB240, it's been a good blower. I don't think we've had anything major go wrong with it. I munched up a blower motor at one point in time. I was pretty fresh and new and was trying to blow back piles of snow that we had left at post offices and actually at my parents' house. And it was basically like a week, 2 weeks old, and so solid ice. And so, you know, I've seen this one blower online, and I forget, I think it was like a quick attach, and they're throwing a cement block into the blower, and it's just takes it no problem. So I don't know if I just got a weak motor. It was basically like the key kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like a key. So there's a slot that feeds in, and then the two pieces meet where the hydraulic motor meets up to. I think this one was the actual impeller. So the one that feeds the snow up into the chute and out, and it snapped that right off. So I don't know if, you know, that's a thing. I've kind of strayed away from chooching into ice piles now. Just, you know, it's a snow blower, not an ice blower. So if things are like that, I'll bring a skid steer over with a bucket and handle it that way. So back to the 240. It's pretty basic and simple, you know. It has the smooth auger going across. It has the traditional 4 fins on the impeller. It has chain drive. It has, I mean, shoot, that's pretty much it here. The shoes are a little different. I'll walk you guys kind of around. We'll kind of go over that here right now. All right, so we'll shout out where we got it from, Bobcat Central. So we're closer to Reno, and that's kind of where we go for all of our parts, but we actually worked with a guy named Chris and down in Stockton. So yeah, first machine. This is our first machine, 2017. So back to the skid, back to the blower. So, I mean, again, the differences are so minute, it's going to be hard to kind of like pick it out and I guess make a video about it, but we'll do what we got. So, kind of the traditional skid shoes on the back here. There's the chain, like I was talking about with the wheels. These wheels have come loose on me before. It's simple just to tighten them up, or I should say probably this has come loose on me. You can see that there is a, you know, an adjustment there. So, let's see, pretty open, pretty standard chute. We'll kind of go over the Muskox. Muskox has a shorter chute and kind of just a, I don't know if we want to say a downfall, but kind of one of our operators have found he had problems clearing out the snow and getting his hand in there just when it clogs. So this one, I can get a screwdriver, big long flathead demo screwdriver in there and clear the snow out. So traditional auger, no, teeth on it. There's the impeller. You can say she's taken a beating. The plate's off right now. I didn't do that. An employee did that, and I don't see a problem with keeping it on. I've never had a reason to take it off, but I guess the Erskine one that we have does not have one on there. So I guess it's to prevent larger items from getting stuck in the impeller and then breaking that motor down there. So yeah, pretty standard, hookups. We've added just the hose protections just because it likes to rub right there. Actually need to kind of move that, but just you'll find as you own equipment, spots that rub, spots that you got to look after. So we're gonna have to reinforce this plate, this whole section. I got a lot of gravel driveways, and it's the beginning of the season's tough. It's hard not to get in some gravel, and this has made a mess of some of our blowers. So I gotta basically pound that back down, probably get some steel, and then weld it and fold it over, But yeah, other than that, haven't had any problems with this machine or with the blower. Works great. So like I said, high flow, SB 240. I think it's like a 68 inch. It's basically just wider than the machine. So yeah, we'll move on to the next one here. So Muskox. This one we've had for a year now. I haven't personally. I've used it. So this machine is one of our newer machines, and it stays at my house in Gray Eagle, so in town. And so I'll use this blower to do my house, my neighbors, and go out and do driveways if we kind of need to on call, so on. So we really like the Muskox. I have no complaints. This thing's pretty sweet. The ability to back drag and the fact that it's kind of got like the rubber cutting edge on top there, so you can back drag away from from garage doors, stuff, anything really, is pretty sweet. So we have the dual auger, so chain driven right there. It's still a normal hydraulic motor over there, and then hydraulic motor in the back for the impeller, but then the top piece itself is chain driven. So we have broken a chain before. Again, if you're running it into ice or stuff that you're not supposed to, you're going to pop a chain. But Muskox was on it so fast. So I do have to say that these blowers are so similar. I think everyone says it. Find a company that will support you and you can get parts from super quick, super easily. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. So my operator actually reached out to Muskox on Instagram about the chain, and before he even told me that the chain was broken, he said Muskox is sending us replacements, and it'll be here in 2 days. And this was, I think, at like 10 o'clock at night. So big props to Muskox for doing that. again, find you a company that will support you and get you parts, because stuff's going to break. It's snow removal. It's how it goes. So, yeah. Back to this girl. So she's got these plates on the side. It's kind of so you don't have your little drifts that go out. You still got your traditional cutting edge. There's wear plates here. This is a rubber kind of poly. I think it's just a rubber cutting edge that we just adjusted for your back dragging. And so chain driven to move the chute. You can see the chute's a lot shorter on the Muskox, right? You can even see that Bobcat over there. That chute's kind of traditional, high. Even this one's very high compared to the Muskox. I kind of like that it's short, but I haven't had to clean snow out of it before. So my operator said when he's trying to get in here, you can see it's got this. I don't know if maybe you could cut this or how that would impact, the performance of that. But trying to get down in there with a tool or anything to clear out a clog is kind of difficult. So that's the only negative I would say on the Muskox. So this is the 78-inch. I think that's probably what that one is too. Normal hookups, everything like that. Really, like the strap. It came with this strap that just wraps around the hydro hoses. Otherwise, it would hit your tire. So like on our normal one, we have a bungee cord. So that was super nice. When I first got the Muskox, I was very impressed with the quality of the build and everything like that. There's supposed to be like snow poles that come out of that, kind of marker stakes that you can angle so that when you're back dragging, they lean forward and touch like wherever you're back dragging and let you know your distance away from that object. So the Muskox crew, they're innovative. They're thinking of stuff. It's super cool and I like it. So no complaints. If you're thinking about a Muskox, I wouldn't hesitate trying it. So we have this is kind of the tensioner for your chain there. This is a little wheel that'll show you if you're in they have blow, shear, and back drag. The shear kind of places the blade on the bottom, just kind of down, shears the ice. Blowing, kind of, it will be normal. It rests more on these pads that are down here underneath this. And the back drag, of course, is with the whole thing tilted forward. So, yeah, let's go to the other Bobcat. So we're going to go over our new Bobcat, which we got last year. I'm not sure what it's called now. SB32, and it's a 68-inch. So this one's a 68-inch. It's a little narrower. Got in a pickle when I was purchasing the machines, and this was all they had. Nobody had anything, really. It's kind of how it goes around here. They either have a ton of stuff or they have nothing. I guess either because we're getting no snow or we're getting hammered. So, yeah. I believe our other two are 78s. I would definitely go with the 78. I mean, I use this 68 on my driveways, and I have the biggest driveways out of our crew. It's no big deal. Would I like that extra foot? Yeah. But is what it is. We'll probably sell it and or keep it for, new operators. Because say you're in the townhomes or certain scenarios, which if we're not using the Muskox, having a narrower with blower housing, probably kind of nice. So, yeah. So some of the main things that I don't know if it's just what everyone's doing. I believe back in the day, Bobcat used to have, it was the SB240 and an SB240X or SBX240, one of those two. I think the X had the little ice teeth on the auger all the way around, which the new one has. And this is it's an SB, just an SB32. So I don't know. If you remember, let me know in the comments. But again, our SB240 has the smooth auger all the way around. Our Muskox and then the new SB32 have the teeth. And so if you guys don't know what I'm talking about with the teeth, it's going to be these guys. You can see they say it's for hitting the ice and breaking it up before it kind of goes into your impeller there. And I mean, I kind of like it. Again, I'm not shoving this thing into giant piles of ice, so I can't say on how well it chews ice. But when you get into, say, plowed areas or plowed piles of snow where, you know, the county plow or even someone has plowed and it's frozen overnight, you know, and you get those clumps, it is kind of nice having these. You can kind of, it does break it up a little bit more. So, so yeah, this is the newer Bobcat one. This one is a little different. I mean, it still blows snow, right? But the shoes are a little bit different than the other ones. The Muskox doesn't really have shoes. It kind of just has some pads on the bottom that it sits on. Again, I haven't operated it, but that might take a little bit more finesse to find when your blade is in the right angle, right? I think the biggest thing when you're blowing snow with these blowers is not down pressure. You shouldn't be putting any down pressure on the driveway or whatever surface you're removing snow from. It's all about getting the correct angle with that scraper blade down in the bottom that goes across. So with this one, you can see it's almost like skis that it's on, which is I don't know. It eliminates you from over angling forward, which our original SP240 definitely you can do. You can do very easily, and it's almost kind of hard because it has those traditional ski-like shoes that you gotta like set it and then roll it forward a little bit. This one, I mean, yeah, I'm still doing that, but you have more, I guess, surface area to set down on, and less chance of screwing things up with that scraper. So that's one of the biggest changes on the new blowers. They've kind of gone away with, I don't know if that's for weight or what it is on our old blowers, even on the Muskox. I mean, the snow just accumulates up there. I kind of just shake the blower backwards and it kind of comes off every once in a while. But so another change, the blower chute's pretty much the same. No chain anymore, but it is hooked up to these teeth. I don't know if it's the quality of things since COVID or what. We've had to replace the motor on this already. I've had to re-weld this little bracket, this little L-shaped bracket. I don't know if you can see it. It's going to be easier to see. So it's this thing, right? It already split down at the bottom, so I had to weld that up. And the chute's hitting on this, which I think is just probably not me adjusting it right, but something was out of whack here. So I got to go through and make sure that that's proper. But I don't know. I'm just not happy with the, I guess, quality of things coming out. It just seems like you definitely notice a difference. Like, I don't want to say I'm not happy. I'm happy, right? I love the equipment. I love Bobcat. I'd much rather be using this stuff than blowing it by hand or, using a shovel or a walk behind blower. But yeah, it's just when things are brand new and they break, it's kind of frustrating. So I think I'm with everyone on that. So other than that, you can kind of see, again, I do mostly gravel driveways. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's a line there from, I believe, a rock getting kind of wedged in there. So I'll probably just preventatively put a piece of metal strap there and reinforce that. Again, we have our hydro hose covers, and yeah, everything else is the same. So the skis or the shoes are adjustable, but we keep them, I think, in the middle there. I believe you can flip them to the other side. And yeah, here's another one. So the impeller on this, I don't know if it's because it's a 68, and I haven't measured for sure, but it seems like the actual the diameter of the diameter, circumference, whatever. The size of the opening for the impeller seems to be smaller on this machine or on this blower than, say, the other three that we have. So I don't know if that's a thing. I haven't measured. I guess if someone really wanted to know, I could measure. But yeah. Has the normal chute, which is what I was talking about earlier. Kind of supposedly to stop rocks from going in there and getting jammed from that impeller fan twisting and going up. So one difference, the 2017 blower, the SB240, only has 4 fins, where this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I don't know if they kind of came up with something different and found that was supposed to prevent it from clogging more, or just what, maybe less impact on the hydro motor. I'm not sure. So if anyone has a guess or a rumor, comment, leave a comment, and yeah, we'll see what we come up with. But yeah, that's our 3 blowers that are inside here. Again, we have an Erskine one that goes on the skid steer over there. That's outside. We'll go over that later on here. And yeah, so newest Bobcat, our Muskox, and then our old SB240. So can't complain. They all work great. They all blow snow. They all make money. They all keep our customers' driveways clear. So yeah, if anyone has any questions on an individual blower or anything like that, leave me a comment. Be happy to respond. So yeah, we'll go outside and I'll show you guys that Erskine blower, and then you'll kind of get a rundown. That'll be 3 different manufacturers, I think. So a lot of like Bobcat, Cat, they use Erskine, so it's hard to say. I think at one point in time, or I don't know if they still are, Bobcat was using someone to make their blowers, right? And then I think Cat was actually using Erskine, but then in talks with my Cat dealer recently, he wasn't even selling Cat brand blowers because he said, I didn't research this, so I don't know if this is true or not, if we're just spreading gossip, but he said that the Erskine blower actually has like a couple more, I don't know if it was gallons per minute or something mechanically was better on the Erskine than the Cat. So he was still dishing out the Erskine. I mean, up here in the Sierras, we need every last bit of juice, so I don't blame him. You don't want to let your customers down and give them, I don't want to say an inferior product, but if you have the option for both things and one's obviously putting out more power than the other one and it's under the same hydraulic system or whatnot, you're going to go that way. So yeah, let's go take a look at that Erskine. All right, guys. So the last blower that we're going to be checking out today is our Erskine blower. And it is outside, so cars are driving by. So sorry about that. It's loud. This Erskine, let's see. I don't know if it actually, well, I think it's over here on the, they stamp the, what package it is. So that's the package. The flow is for 24 to 28. So we got this for our 259 D3, our Cat skid steer. So it's probably a little different. We haven't used it on the Tool Cats, but so it's there. The model is the 2420. So kind of go over things that I like about it, and yeah, so I guess we can start. You can see the Erskine has a lot more. You can see where the actual auger is, and it sticks out quite a bit, in front of the housing of the blower. I don't know if that's how you like that or not. I guess, if you're in the skid steer's not the best view. You still can't really see where the auger is, but so I'm not sure why they did that. Maybe to allow you to get into a pile with the auger instead of the housing. But like you can see here, I don't know if you noticed, that's kind of bent, which, yeah, operator sucked in a rock. That's not Erskine's fault, but I almost wonder if the housing was out past that, would a rock have been able to slip in there? Or at least in that very weak spot, right? That corner, which is kind of probably the weakest spot, not really somewhere down here. But yeah, I mean, it's not, the guy who operates this hasn't complained about it. He seems to love it. So, yeah, one of the other things about the Erskine, you can see there's no guard, no plate, but look how big. I don't know why, but I gotta measure these, and maybe I'll leave it in the comments what the you know, opening sizes are on these different blowers. But this one just seems very large compared to all the other ones. You know, it's damn near the whole top to bottom, pretty wide. Now it is only the 4. I believe Erskine, I haven't looked this year, or I don't even think the past 2 years, but I know Erskine, I believe they've made some changes. So I don't know if they went with a 6, you know, a 6 fin or blade impeller fan. But yeah, there was a company, Quick Attach, I think, had one that, I forget what the guy was telling me, but they're pretty much darn similar to the Erskine. Like, if you want to go look at them, it's like, I mean, that looks pretty darn identical. They have, I believe, the 6 fins on their auger, and that was the one that I was telling you guys, where they were just chucking cement block units into the blower, and it was just blowing them to pieces and kept running and had no problem. So that's pretty impressive. And they were actually on the cheaper side for blowers. So if you're looking for a blower, I would check out Quick Attach maybe. I don't have one, I don't know, but yeah, and this was a couple years ago when I was looking for blowers. So yeah, we'll keep going over this bad boy. So one thing I like, you can see it's, well, serrated edge, I guess, for if you're cutting, you know, through, and you kind of got like a berm or something built up, and it just leaves a clean cut. This housing is actually back a couple inches. Of course, slot where you can hook up a chain. I love this. I love that this is all one piece, right? The whole chute basically is one piece. That, I mean, that's been welded together, but no chain to break. I forget what the other one was inside, but the gear kind of style on this I really like. It seems very rugged and durable. So, and then it kind of gets sandwiched in between these polyurethane plates, which we did have a friend that had, I believe, the same unit, but it was on a 299, which obviously has more power, and they blew actually the whole chute off of the thing, which, I mean, I've done before on an older Bobcat one. The chute just fell off, right, because these bolts were loose. But they said they like sheared something down in here, and they were told that it was because it was too much hydraulic power for that blower. Sounds kind of interesting to me, but that's what they were told. So they upgraded. They stayed with Erskine, but got a different model, I think an upgraded model, and they've been happy with that so far. So, but I really like this, how they did this. And then same thing, you know, just rides up another gear that's in there. What else? Erskine, you know, it seems very basic, but it looks like you can see, like, everything's super easy to get to, right? Which I'm sure someone will rip this off or do something, but some of these have plates and all this other kind of stuff, which, yeah, I'm sure is for protection, but this is super easy to get to if you needed to adjust a hydro line, change out a hydraulic line, swap a motor out, you know, stuff like that, which I love. Another big difference on the Erskine is the blade. So you can see how that scraper blade is pretty much like sticking out this way, you know, width-wise, but then also it's kind of like, I guess what I'm trying to say is that hits first before the housing hits at all, unless you have the whole thing jacked completely far forward, which I have had someone do that, but once he figured out that that was not how it's supposed to go, he came to me and was like, oh shit, it's a lot easier the way, you know, when you tilt it back. And so I kind of like this. I haven't used it much. One thing with the skid steer that scares me with that, basically that corner, you know, is if a guy just does like instead of a 3-point turn is just trying to, you know, do this for some reason, that corner could catch and dig and scrape into a driveway. But that's, I mean, that's snow removal, you know, you're scraping asphalt with a metal blade. So you're going to have Mars and stuff like that. So you can see the skid shoes, which we haven't had to go through those or really adjust them. Like I said, it pretty much rests on that blade. And I don't think we've had it for 2 seasons and we haven't had to flip it and, or get another one. So, this one doesn't do any gravel or anything like that. So the main impeller housing is pretty clean. Yeah, again, you know, it blows snow. What else can I say? Pretty much all of them have this adjustment here. So you can move the actual housing up on the, you know, the attachment frame itself, up or down. I think pretty much most attachments have that. But yeah, super easy to get in here and clean out. Pretty big housing, you can see down inside. So it's also like, I don't want to say a bed liner texture, but it's almost like a I think it might be when they, what's it called, like a powder coat, right? When they basically like I don't know exactly the process, but they electricize, I believe, the whatever they're going to be painting, then they spray with like a powder gun, and it creates a reaction where the metal actually draws in that powder that they're blowing like a magnet. And I don't know if that's what it is. It's a little thicker than paint. Maybe it's just a big thick paint, but I like it. Some of the other stuff seems, you know, thin or just kind of the normal stuff. So yeah, not much else to be said about the blowers. They all can be hooked up to all of our different machines, whether that is the Toolcats, the skid steer. Those are the two that we kind of go back and forth with. But yeah, they all have the same hydraulic, the same pins, electrical pins. They're all pretty much around the same flow. And yeah, so I guess that's where we'll end it off, guys. Hope you guys got some information out of it. Sorry, I know probably just a lot of rambling and me trying to find things to say. Like I said, they're all blowers. It's all minute, small differences between them, but they all blow snow. Make sure you got that high flow. So yeah, I guess we'll end it off there. If you guys have any questions, comments, or anything like that, leave it below. Like, share, subscribe, and let me know what you guys want to see next.